Okay, this is to help all you people out there that are suffering with leaks on your Tokyo Marui Mark 23 mags. First of all, you need to check where the leak's coming from. It can possibly come from this valve here. It can come from this valve just here. Or in this case, it was coming, the air was coming out of the base unit just here. And I found that out by sticking it in some water, finding where the air bubbles were coming from, and then I could sort out the problem. So this is to resolve the issue, the most common one, of air escaping from the base plate of the magazine. Now, as you can see, I've just you've got 3 screws. I've done this one already. There's 2 pins here. You just push out and with some pliers just remove those. Make sure all the air is taken out of the magazine before you try this, so release all the air. Get in a small drill bit. There's a pin in here that you won't be able to knock through, but just drill it deep enough, a couple of mil. Don't go too far down, although there's a little bit of room for movement, just to remove this pin just here. And what that'll allow you to do, I just sort of, once I've drilled down, I just tapped it a little bit with a dot punch, and I was able to then separate the pieces. There's a little bit of a spring here, and what'll happen is from the side you'll have a hole where there was a spring and a release valve, and this is where the leak was basically coming from. So what you do is you can get rid of those, take them both out of this hole, chuck them away, you don't need them. And what I then did is mix some araldite and araldite the hole up. And what basically that used to do is used to fill the air from in here. Used to go up this pipe, fill the magazine, and when it got to a certain pressure would release the excess gas through that valve just there. It doesn't need to. That's why you can hold more gas in these magazines once this has been done. So here it is, I araldited this. A good thing while it's apart is just to check the O-ring that's on here. It's more of a shape of a square ring. Now I looked into the measurements of this, and I found some on eBay. These are 22.5mm by 2.5mm, and it's the first time fitting them. Probably a little bit loose. I'm just going to go back to the it may well work. Let's see if it does. So we'll keep that on there. Just make sure that that's not dry at all, because that's your seal really. So you do need to make sure that's in sort of good working order. And literally that is it. That's all you have to do. Some people on the videos are putting PTF paste, I think it is, all the way around here, smothering this and assembling it. By the way, this needs to set for 24 hours. Don't put it all together and put gas in until this glue's sort of set, and this has set. You can see that's set. But people are putting PTF paste, or you can wrap a few layers of PTF tape around there just to make the seal better, so that when it all goes together it's nice and airtight. And then what you just go ahead and do is just put it all back together. It'll be a fairly snug fit because of the new O-ring. A little bit fiddly. Fit it together. It's just a little bit fiddly. Let's go back to, I'm just going to go back and remove this one. I think this is a little bit too big. Let's just go back to the original. Fit that on around there. Yeah, it's a much better fit. Put it all back together. And be careful here, I made a slight mistake on my first one. Just make sure that the holes are lined up before you put these, before you try and tap them back into place. I found the first time I did this, I was tapping away and the back of it hadn't lined up properly, and I was bulging the magazine, which made it slightly out of shape. I've got it back now, but it's fine. But just make sure you put those pins in there like that, turn it around, push the whole thing together, and then sort of just squeeze them back into place. And then I've used a rubber mallet just to tap them back into place. Fill it up with gas, and away you go. It is that easy. Once you've done, I bodged the first one, still works. Second one's perfect. You don't need, when you replace the 2 pins, you don't need to replace this 3rd pin. You don't even have to glue it or anything. It was, it's just, leave it as it is. And fill it up with gas, and you'll find that you'll get so much more out of the magazine. You'll be able to refill it probably with BB 6 times before you're running out of gas, and always run these things on propane. Seems to be what everybody's running them on. So yeah, hopefully the videos of some use to getting some of those Tokyo Marui magazines back into action. So thank you very much.